Hello, I'm Juan Davis, Chief Creative Officer at KCET and PBS SoCal, and we're partnering with the newsroom of KPCC and LAist on a daily reporter roundup. It is election day today. Let's start with you, Libby. How is voting going here in Southern California, and when we will know where we stand?
More than 3 million Angelinos had already cast their ballots going into Election Day, and there were nearly 13 million early votes across California. And that early vote appears to have kept the pressure off the vote centers today, especially compared to the very long lines that we saw in LA in March. While there are some isolated delays, like when an e-poll book charging cable doesn't work or someone decides to register same day, that takes a little more paperwork, that holds up the line a little bit. Things are going pretty smoothly so far. When it comes to results, the Los Angeles County Registrar said this morning that the first ballot count report, which will be released after the polls close at 8 p.m., that will contain all the early vote by mail ballots through Saturday, which is nearly 2 million ballots. And Dean Logan, the registrar, said that was really something new this year because in the past, the early counting report had a maximum of 500,000 ballots. Logan said the first report tonight will be more representative of the Los Angeles electorate than in years past, but I want to emphasize mail-in, provisional, all kinds of ballots that might need to be cured if the signature is not matching. Those take time to count, and an election is not over until the post-election canvassing period has completed.
Libby will be hosting our local election night coverage on KPCC, so please tune in. We're also answering voter questions, and one that's come up now is how to keep track of your vote and how to find out if it was counted. Caitlin has the answer to that one.
So, if you want to track your ballot, you can use this great tool called the Where's My Ballot tool, and you can find that at california.ballottracks.net. That's ballot tracks with an X. That tool is going to tell you where your ballot is in the process, and you can also sign up for notifications so you can get notified when your ballot's been received or if there are any issues with it. And a lot of folks have been using the tool and have said it's been great to get that reassuring notification that their ballot has been received.
We have reporters out around the region today, and Robert is in Norwalk at a vote center. What's the scene there, Robert?
Hey, yeah, I'm at the LA County Registrar's office in Norwalk. They've got a vote center on the second floor. You might be able to see people kind of going in towards the entrance over here. A poll worker told me about a little over an hour ago that more than 500 people had used the ballot marking devices in person to vote at this particular center. And in talking with voters, it's been really interesting to hear just how split people are. Talked with two young voters, first time voting for both of them. One was going for Trump and one was for Biden. I talked with an engineer who's out of work to some extent because of the coronavirus. He works in the manufacturing industry. And he said that, he initially voted for Trump 4 years ago. And this time he was going to give his vote to Biden. The things he mentioned, ethics was a big thing for him. He also mentioned President's remarks regarding Dr. Fauci. So that's a little bit of what I'm hearing today in Norwalk.
And Mariana is at the Reagan Presidential Library. What are you hearing from voters there?
Yeah, so I have heard from the Ventura Clerk Recorder's Office that this has actually been the busiest site here in the county. But I spent most of the day in Santa Clarita. And the two voting sites I visited, they didn't have any lines. There was ample hand sanitizer. People seemed really relieved that this was a simple process. And as far as what motivated people to come out and vote, I was struck by how personal the reasons are and specific to their lives. I talked to a man who builds speedboats for a living, and he said that the industry has been doing great the last 4 years, and he wants to see that continue with the Trump presidency. Another woman I talked to is a law student. She's closely following the DA race because of its impact, the district attorney's race because of its impact on her work in the future. And all of these people saw their ballot as a way to really make their voice and their experience known and heard and hopefully make a little bit of a difference.
Thank you, Mariana, and thank you all for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow.